On OSRC News at 7, Governor Aiyedatiwa called for concerted efforts among traditional rulers towards promoting peace and unity. OD displays economy and fixes dates for PVC collection ahead Edo governorship poll. And from the foreign scene, U.S. Secretary of State Blinken comments diplomatic push towards enduring peace in Gaza. Thank you very much for joining us tonight on the news at 7 on OSRC television. My name is Oyewumi Ayinigbara. The present administration in the state will not shirk its responsibilities of promoting growth and development in all the nooks and crannies of the state. Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa at the official presentation of staff of office and instrument of appointment to the new Elereke of Ereke in Ilaja local government area of the state, urged traditional rulers to leverage their positions to promote peace and unity among residents while enhancing the security of lives and property in their communities. The governor, who recognized significance of the event, noted that it was the result of a long-standing demand by the people of the community. He charged the new monarch to justify his position by promoting overall peace and development while using the people as a focal point of his reign. The Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Amidu Takuro, said the event was a resolve of government to implement the Justice Ajama report. High points of the event was official presentation of the staff of office and instrument of appointment to the new monarch. The monarch, Oba Anuluwapo Oguntibeju, thanked the governor for the recognition and promised not to disappoint the people.
Does not take the matter of filling vacancies with levity, knowing fully well the importance of the traditional corporate governance. This we always do, dispassionately, devoid of any form of interference or executive meddlement. On this note, let me use this opportunity to congratulate Adebiyi, the newest Oba in Ondo.
Of some existing chieftaincies and the recognition of new ones in the state is a demonstration of the love, respect, and due regard our government accords public opinion and the traditional institution. And it's a continuous exercise. So for those of you who just mentality should hold holders of their gathering the menace of ideas will not rest our dear president that the state government will not allow or tolerate any expansionist tendencies by any traditional ruler under any guise. Insurance and appointment.
And that's the governor of Ondo State, Lucky Orimisun Ayeda Siwa, presenting the staff of office an instrument of appointment to the Elereke of Ereke, and that's Oba Anuluapo Ogotsibeju. For a viral democracy in Nigeria, and the autonomy of the legislature is sacrosanct, Speaker of Ondo State House of Assembly Olamide Oladiji emphasized this necessity while featuring as guest of the circuit a program organized by Nigerian Union of Journalists Osrc Orange FM Chapel of the Nigerian Union of Journalists. The speaker noted that such autonomy, when realized, guarantee balance of power and drive good governance.
Good morning. How are you?
The Speaker, Ondo State House of Assembly Olamide Oladiji, was special guest at this month's edition of the Circuit, a program organized by the Osrc Orange FM Chapel of the NUJ. The chairman, Ondo State Radio Vision Corporation, Mr. Kunle Ade, meets the lawmaker and his entourage as attention the newsroom venue of the program.
Well, thank you so much for finding time to be with us. Thank you.
To thank you so very much, and also to thank the Ondo State House of Assembly for rising up to the responsibility of the legislature. We've been here over time. We've seen assemblies, but I think this is one of the most robust assemblies, and we are not surprised.
In an the chairman saw the importance of the initiative as an avenue to further drive conversation to make.
We are here to engage in a vital the impact of the legislature, robust
who spoke on the impact of independent legislature on the viral legislative arm is essential for maintaining balance of power and preventing abuse.
To address the challenge that undermines its effectiveness by safeguarding the autonomy of the legislation, Nigeria can foster a more robust and resilient democracy that serves the interests of all its citizens. A financially autonomous legislation will facilitate quality, effective, and efficient legislature in general interest of everyone. Also, a godson will always play the tune of the godfather, just as inexperienced representation will not do the constituents any good.
Mr. Olamide Oladiji noted that rebranding democracy from the people, urging citizens to change their orientation and shun.
The concentration of power in the executive has often led to abuse and the marginalization of other branches of government. I have contested election thrice. I know what I face. If people did not want you, you have your money, you have your way. And when our democracy is like that, automatically you should be expecting bad governance.
The conversation snowballed into a comment and question session as journalists from various media outfits, including the state chairman of NUJ, Leke Adegbite, making their remarks.
Now that the state houses of assembly has not been talking on the judgment of Supreme Court and what they will do to amend the law to suit the judgment. So what is the position of Ondo State House of Assembly?
The Speaker also commended OSRC staff and management, pledging more support to enhance service delivery.
This is my second time of coming to this place, and that's my first time. I know the position of this place, but with what I've seen today, I want to say welcome, sir.
The engagement at this edition of the circuit is in conscience to see themselves as contributors to the nation's success. Sahid Aribisala, OSRC News.
The Independent National Electoral Commission has fixed 22nd August 2024 to 8 September 2024 for the collection of permanent voter cards in Edo State ahead of the September governorship election. INEC Chairman Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, during a meeting with resident electoral commissioners in Abuja, said the commission would not deal with the process as only valid registrants will be given their PVCs. The INEC board that a five-man panel of the Supreme Court has reserved judgment in the Kogi and Bayelsa State governorship elections appeals filed by Muritala Ajaka of the Social Democratic Party SDP and Timothy Silva of the All Progressives Congress APC. Both Ajaka and Silva challenged the declarations made by the Independent Electoral Commission INEC on the outcome of the 2023 governorship elections in their respective states. However, in a ruling, the Supreme Court said it reserved judgment in the appealed cases. Justice James Abundaga, who read the lead judgment of the Court of Appeal, affirmed the declaration of Diri and the People's Democratic Party (PDP) as the joint winners of the November 11, 2023 poll. The Academic Staff Union of Universities has informed the federal government of its plan to embark on a nationwide strike over failure of the federal government to fulfill its promise. The university body, at the end of the NEC meeting, which was held at the University of Ibadan, gave the federal government a 21-day ultimatum to see to the implementation of the agreement reached with the union. The national president of ASU, Professor Emmanuel Osedeke, who spoke on the outcome of the meeting, said the federal government had not implemented any of the agreements signed by both parties. The federal government has called on power companies operating in Nigeria to improve the local content of their activities to enhance sustainability. The Minister of Power, Bayo Adelabu, made this appeal during a facility tour of MBH Power Limited in Mowe, Ogun State. The minister urged the firm to implement a formal integration plan to improve the local content of its activities and also engage more Nigerians in its operations to promote job creation and boost the overall economic activity of the country. You're still watching Osrc News at 7. After the break, we'll bring you more stories. Please stay. Thank you so much for rejoining us. You can watch us live on our website www.osr or follow us on Facebook at OSRC TV, and on YouTube you can subscribe to our channel OSRC TV Ondo. Women in Ondo State have been reassured of more opportunities to contribute their quota to the betterment of the state. Special Advisor to Governor of Women Affairs, Shehu Osamai, who led the Odatiwa Women Initiative team to Osrc local government area, said Governor Ayedatiwa remains committed to addressing their concerns without politicizing their welfare. Omoniola Ongbiji has the detail.
If for the headquarters government from across the affairs and women leaders in support for the present administration of the team lauded the support of the women for coming out en masse to recognize the initiative, the women initiative, the prosperity that in Ondo location.
Of Governor Lucky Orimison is for all, and our women will take their place of pride. Our women will be at the forefront of governance in the state. The women will be governor. Resounding victory, an unprecedented number of votes will be recorded for him.
Thrilled by the government's outreach, the women, including those states, the just that were in placing women in strategic positions in his government, emphasizing the various
that no going back.
If is government for, and we are lucky in us, you can turn out to vote for him.
All the women at home with cash gift. News.
In health, Ondo State is among the few states in Nigeria with zero case of mpox, which is currently ravaging African nations. Omoriola Ngiji again, who spoke with experts and other stakeholders, reports that measures are being put in place across the 18 local government areas to ensure early detection if eventually imported into the state. We'll bring you the full report in the course of the bulletin. Executive Chairman of the Federal Inland Revenue Service, FIRS, Mr. Zach Adedeji, has reviewed to introduce a law that would overhaul the process of revenue administration in Nigeria next month. He also lamented the fact that Nigeria had no law guiding the digital market in Nigeria, especially the cryptocurrency. Adedeji at the 2024 stakeholders engagement with the Senate and House committees on finance organized by the Intergovernmental Relations Department of the FIRS, explained that the government plans to regulate cryptocurrency in such a way that it would not be injurious to the economic development of the country. It said Nigeria was still using the Stamp Duty Act of 1939 when there was no internet connection. Saying this explained the reason President Bola Tinubu set up the Tax and Fiscal Reform Committee to change and check the law. The new management of the Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) has introduced new initiatives to drive activities in Nigeria's capital market, aligning with the federal government's $1 trillion economic target. SEC Director General Emomotimi Agama announced this during his first post-capital markets committee press briefing in Lagos. Agama noted that increasing the number of listed companies would improve This effort aimed to engage millennials who make up 70% of the population in the capital market. He expressed optimism about unlocking the full potential of the capital market in alignment with the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited has vowed to end the queues for spirits popularly called petrol by Wednesday as the black market for PM boomed. NNPC also declared that it did not owe international oil traders $6.8 billion as claimed in some quarters, a development which some industry watchers described as a major reason for the widespread PMS scarcity in Nigeria. This came as the sole importer of the commodity. NNPC blamed the petrol scarcity on evacuation challenges of PMS vessels. The Chief Corporate Communications Officer of NNPC, Olufemi Shoneye, said the oil firm was working hard to tackle the fuel supply challenges, stressing that the queues should clear by midweek. We go on another break. When we return, we bring you more stories. Please don't go away. You are welcome back. And now we move to the foreign scene. At least 35 people have died in torrential floods caused by heavy rains in northern Sudan. Officials there say the need of those affected. 20,000 people have been displaced since late June, and the ongoing conflict is hampering efforts to help those affected. Victor Akinshulure has details.
Ali Ahmad in northern Sudan River Nile state is known, but that was a dream, but is debris of the torrential rains and floods that hit the region for the first time in recent years.
It's horrific, but is the stand level.
Officials have been killed, injured, have or complete to Ahmad without, but those in the state to with own intent to seek their families and flood.
Are clear, all totally toilets, back to shed children from
of course and organizations, but the conflict between government troops and paramilitary forces will likely
we are and that is
major trade drought for delivery of any assistance. Victor Akinshulure, Osrc News.
Still on the foreign scene, UK businessman Mike Lynch has been declared missing after a super yacht sank off southern Italy. A source close to the rescue effort said Lynch's wife was among 15 people rescued after the luxury yacht sank overnight amid violent winds and rains off the coast of Sicily, leaving 6 others missing. Lynch was recently acquitted in the United States of an $1.1 billion fraud. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken has described the latest diplomatic push by the U.S. to strike a deal between Hamas and Israel as probably the best, maybe the last opportunity to secure the release of the Israeli captives in Gaza. Speaking more before meeting Israeli President Isaac Herzog, Blinken said Washington was also working to get a ceasefire and to put everyone on a better path to ending enduring peace and security. amid concerns over a possible attack by Iran on Israel in retaliation for the assassination of Hamas political leader Ismail Haniyeh in Iran's capital, Tehran.
In the working place decided to murder him simply because he's a Jew and an Israeli, a very great tragedy. Last night we've witnessed a suspected major terror attack in Tel Aviv, which is under investigation with a possible suicide bomber. And this morning, our soldiers have been attacked in Yara. Yara is on the border with Lebanon by Hezbollah terrorists with drones. And there is information that we have suffered possible casualties. We are under review of this. And this is the way we are living these days. We are surrounded by terror from four corners of the earth, and we are fighting back as a resilient and strong nation. It also is reflected in the attitude of Hamas in the negotiations for the release of our hostages. Because one has to remember the refusal, the adamant refusal, and I've been following your statements on this for months. At the end, at the bottom line of it, people have to understand it starts with the refusal of Hamas to move forward. We are simply still very hopeful that we can move forward in the negotiations that are held by the mediators. And I want to thank the United States, Egypt, and Qatar for their efforts on behalf of this noble cause. There is no greater humanitarian objective and there's no greater humanitarian cause than bringing back our hostages home as they should have returned long ago. We want to see them back home as soon as possible. There's no greater prayer and there's no greater hope and no greater effort. Turn everything possible to bring them back home. And it is, in fact, the top agenda of world affairs these days, as projected by Security Council resolution, which you, Mr. Secretary, have brought forward and passed in a historic step, as well as, of course, the conclusions of all the leadership, dire and times,
and to on a better path to enduring peace and
to end the news at 7 on Osrc television, here again are the major stories. We told you that Governor Aiyedatiwa has called for concerted effort among traditional rulers towards promoting peace and unity among residents while enhancing the security of lives and property in their communities. We also told you that the Ondo State House of Assembly Speaker Olamide Oladiji has emphasized the place of legislative autonomy in achieving good governance. Also, we brought to you that the Independent National Electoral Commission has fixed 22nd August 2024 to 8 September 2024 for collection of permanent voter cards in Edo State ahead of the September governorship election. And from the foreign scene, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken has commended diplomatic push towards enduring peace in Gaza. That's the news tonight. Thank you very much for watching. Good evening.